So there are a lot of social and political issues in the world. And there are a lot of affected people and affected groups, and they all need advocacy and awareness. There are also a lot of amazing and inspirational things happening in the world, and they all deserve to be acknowledged and celebrated. The problem is, a lot of us have gotten to the point where anytime we focus on a specific issue or celebrate a specific accomplishment, that somehow means we're ignoring all of the others. That's not how it works. First of all, there's just too much shit going on for every single person to put equal amounts of focus into every single thing at all times. That's just not possible. But it's not really necessary either. Each individual person at any given time in their lives may be more passionate about some things than others, and they're going to put more effort into learning about, celebrating, and making people aware of those things. That's fine. In July 2012, scientists discovered what they think is a Higgs boson particle. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up, but it's a big deal in the scientific community. That same month, the antiviral drug Truvada was approved by the FDA as the first drug proven to treat and prevent HIV. Also a big deal. Depending on who you know or who you follow on social media, you may have heard more about one of those things than the other. You may care more about one of those things than the other. But the point is, it's not a competition. When I saw someone share a link about the Higgs boson particle, I didn't leave a snarky comment saying, why are we talking about this when we should be talking about the Syrian uprising? Just because I'm interested in one thing doesn't imply that all other things are unimportant. And you see this a lot, especially when we're talking about social and political issues. Like whenever some group wants to talk about the challenges that they're facing, there's always someone who chimes in and says, well, I have problems too. Okay, well, we're not talking about your problems right now. If you're concerned with addressing issues that you're passionate about, especially if those issues aren't getting a lot of attention, feel free to talk about it and make people talk about it. But you don't have to put down other people's plights in order to boost up your own. And this is why I often feel like this idea is kind of disingenuous, because I feel like people tend to keep quiet about things until something they're personally uncomfortable with starts getting some attention. Like a lot of people are upset that Caitlyn Jenner is receiving an award for courage from ESPN because there are more deserving recipients. And I'm interested in what makes these people more deserving, like what makes one person's courage legitimate and another person's courage non-legitimate. In 2013, the Arthur Ashe Courage Award went to Robin Roberts, a sportscaster who survived breast cancer. I'm sure there were many people qualified for the award that year, but I don't remember hearing any debate about people who were more deserving than her. In 2014, Michael Sam, the first openly gay NFL player, received the award. And even with him, I don't really remember much controversy surrounding the selection. And he didn't even have a disease or a disability, which a lot of people seem to think is a prerequisite for receiving his award. But now that Caitlyn Jenner is receiving the award, people are falling over themselves to explain why she doesn't deserve it or why there's people that are more deserving than her. It's not a fucking competition. Every year they honor someone who displayed courage and inspiration, and Caitlyn Jenner did that. Every year there are probably hundreds or thousands of people they could choose from. The person they choose is not the winner while everyone else is the loser. That's not how this works. Now, if you don't respect the plight of Caitlyn Jenner or trans people in general, or anyone whose issues you think are overblown or not that big a deal or less important than whatever you happen to care about, in my opinion that kind of sucks, but at least admit that and don't hide behind all these weird excuses. It's not about who deserves what more. Everything that deserves to be talked about should be talked about. And if you don't think something is being talked about enough, then fucking talk about it. You just don't have to put down other people's accomplishments or belittle other people's stories in order to do that. That's just me though. If you have some input, feel free to drop a comment. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to all of the new subscribers. How you doing? If you enjoyed the video, please press the thumbs up button and subscribe if you like my hair. Now, the problem with this argument is in the lack of imagination. Just because you or any individual can't personally understand or imagine something does not mean that no one can understand or imagine that thing. And it also doesn't mean that you personally will never understand or imagine that thing, because it's possible that one day you may. And even if no one can currently imagine or understand something, that doesn't mean that no one will ever understand that thing.